Alright, so one of the big reasons we switched to this travel cage for camping with the ferrets is how much smaller the whole entire cage condenses to. So that big giant cage condenses to this small pile. So it'll still be as long and wide as the actual cage is, because the base doesn't get any smaller. But you can see that the total height now is only like 6 or 7 inches off the ground. Alright, so here I am with all the parts, and you would think the downside with having a cage that comes apart and having to reassemble it all the time, that it'd be very complicated. But this cage is actually not complicated at all. It's one of the reasons why we like it. So I'm gonna first show you just all the different pieces that come with it. So you are gonna have 4 of these little guys. So these are just 4 little plastic clips. 4 of these little plastic clips. Usually I keep those in a plastic bag, but I've already pulled them out. There are 8 of these little sliding bars. For those, I just keep them rubber band together. These are gonna be 4 sides. So there's 2 sides here, and then the 2 sides here. And it is important to note, if you're not familiar with putting the cage together, there are specific sides that have to go specific places. So you will notice these are top sides. This cage actually has 2 layers. It's gonna have a bottom layer and it has the top layer. So anything that it has, these little plastic clip things, or no plastic, they're metal clips, and these things are part of the top. So this is actually the top left side and the top right side. These ones that you originally saw are the bottom left and the bottom right pieces. So these will be one of the first ones that go on. These are just 2 plastic shelves that came with it. So those are last because those don't go in until everything's assembled. This is the top. So that's one of the last things. We're gonna move that over there. And the next sets are gonna be your front and back sides. So this is one of the front sides, which you can tell because there is a door here. And this is also a front side because it has a door here. Again, with 2 layers, you have the top layer and a bottom layer, and both of them have door accesses, which is wonderful. And to tell the difference here, just like with your side pieces, you're looking for these little clip things. So this has those clips, so this is part of your top layer, which makes him part of your bottom layer. And these are now your back sides. Again, this one has the clips, so that is your top back layer. And this one is your bottom back layer. Alright, so now for assembling. You're gonna wanna find one of the sides that I said was a bottom left or right side, and you'll notice you have a top and a bottom part of this. Your bottom has these little metal bars right there, and the tops do not. And these you can just set right in the groove there. Same thing, find your little metal bars, you know that's the bottom, and it should just stand right up there. So here is the back piece. Again, your back piece also has these metal bars in the bottom, but not on the top. And the only other thing you're going to want to take note of is there is a way. One of these is the right way and one of these is wrong way. So you want to make sure that these bars that I pointed out are on the outside of the cage, not on the inside. Now, for stability, there's these rod things that we talked about, and they have a flat edge and a rounded edge. Your flat edges go towards the outside of the cage and the rounded edges toward the inside, but this will connect your pieces of your cage. So, making sure my flat edge is on the outside, make sure those 2 are together. I'm just gonna slide down. All right, now we can put the front part on. So looking for one of the ones with the front doors. This does not have your bottom little clips on it, but this also still has your metal little bars here. So again, this is just gonna sit in the groove there while I slide on 2 more pieces. Now, if you wanted, you could stop here and just put the lid on here and make this a very short cage. All right, now we're gonna add the second layer. So we're gonna find the left and right sides for the top layer. And again, these are gonna have these little clips here, and it also have these clips. So these clips are your bottom, because this is how you're gonna keep it on top of the bottom half. So we're gonna go ahead and put this right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. There we go. Now, each of these top ones also has these clips. So I'm going to go ahead and snap these clips down, which also help hold it in place. So now that we got the left and right sides, we're going to put the back on. So back again is this plain piece with your bottom little, I keep calling them clips, but they're not really clips. And again, this is important that this piece sits the right direction like the rest of the pieces. So last but not least, we need the front, which again is one of these magnificent door pieces. And this, again, will have these little pieces on the bottom. So, lid. This piece just goes kind of on the top. So we're going to come over here and we're going to set this on there. And this has a couple different type of pieces on here. So you'll see, oh, don't let it fall in. You got some of these pieces actually have to go underneath here, and some of them stay on top. So I'm going to shove some of these underneath the little holes like that. This one is a top piece, so that's on top. This one's underneath. This one's on top. This one here is an underneath one. So we're going to squeeze that underneath. That one's on top. Another underneath one. This makes for a very secure top. This one's on top. We're just going to keep going around until they are all done. Now for all these little plastic doohickeys. These basically give it more support so the whole thing doesn't fall apart. So these T-shaped ones are just gonna go here and they just pop right on. So it keeps these from all falling apart or sliding off the top, because again, remember, we just slid these right on. Otherwise these could just slide off. And there's one on the back here. Snap that on, and your last back one. And then we have these ones, these little plus size ones, and these ones go right here. So we're gonna pop these on like so. And then I'm gonna go to the back of the cage and do the remaining 2. Okay, so one of the final pieces on this cage that doesn't include all the inside stuff are these plastic pieces. I forgot to show them in the beginning stuff, and I didn't show them in the beginning stuff because I didn't have them with my set of stuff because I don't normally put these on. But these are an added sense of security. This whole cage, now fully assembled, can just lift off this plastic bottom. It is pretty heavy, but the ferrets are not going to lift that up to get out, and we are not leaving the ferrets out here unsupervised. So it's not like something's going to come by and try to get them out. So this I don't think is necessary for us, but these, you just hook them on these little bars. This is why it was important that these bars that I was pointing out on each side was at the bottom, because this just hooks on, and then this hook hooks into the plastic. So if you go around and do each of these pieces on each of the 4 sides, it makes it so if something were to knock this over or were to pull up on this, this base would stay on here and your fuzzies wouldn't be able to escape. So if you enjoyed this video, the boys would definitely appreciate it if you could give them a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. And to get notifications when we do put up more videos, please hit the little bell next to the subscribe button. And the boys said, thanks so much for watching.